Memorial Day is on Monday and the 4th of July is pretty much around the corner. So for today's video, I'm going to show you how you can make your very own patriotic decor. Hello everyone, if you guys are new, my name's Liz, and for today's video, I have some patriotic DIYs for you. I am partnering with Create Fabricas on this video, and I'm going to show you how you can use their website to make some gorgeous pieces of patriotic decor. Plus, there's a giveaway in today's video, so stay tuned for that. But without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into our first DIY. For this DIY, I picked up a 2-pack of these 12-inch rounds. I picked these up from Michael's. I don't remember the price off the top of my head, but they were on sale and I wouldn't have grabbed them if they weren't a good deal. So I'm going to start by adding some Elmer's glue, school glue, to the front of my sign. Now, because this is already a nice brown, I didn't find the need to paint it. Before that is dry, I'm going to go on with my top color, which is going to be white. I'm going for that crackle look effect for this sign. So I'm going to take that white paint and I'm trying to go in as little strokes as possible, making sure that the paint is going on in all the same direction. And like I said, just try to do as little strokes as possible. And then I did try to apply a decent thickness of the paint as I could. Once you've got your paint on there, you're going to take your heat gun or a blow dryer and you're going to start heating that up. This is going to give you those crackles and make it look all nice and distressed. It's going to give that crackle effect to it. So I just took my heat gun and went over the entire thing until everything was nice and crackled up and everything was dry. Next, you're going to add a layer of Mod Podge. I decided to use some matte Mod Podge, but you could use glossy if you wanted. Just know that the gloss is going to be seen around your image, so if you don't want that glossy look to your sign, use some matte Mod Podge. I did go over the entire thing just to make sure that everything was nice and sealed in, and then everything had the same finish. I am going to tape a piece of tissue paper onto a piece of regular printer paper. This tissue paper comes from the Dollar Tree. You can get a pack of 35 for just $1.25. So I think that's a really great deal. I am just going to try to tape this tissue paper as flat as I possibly can to the printer paper. You do want to make sure that the side that feeds into the printer is completely taped so that the printer doesn't rip up your tissue paper. Next, I hopped onto Create Fabricas website, found this Patriotic Highland Cow PNG, and if you know me, you know I love my Highland cows, and I thought that this was adorable. So I printed this out, I sized it to how big I wanted it for my sign, and then printed the cow out. I cut around the cow as best as I could and then added it onto my sign. Once I have it where I want it, I'm going to add a piece of parchment paper on top, and then using my mini heat press from Cricut, I am going to slowly go over the entire image. This is reactivating that Mod Podge that we put down before, and you are going to have a wrinkle-free piece on top of your sign, which I just love this method so much. It is super easy and I feel like it looks good every single time, and you honestly can't really tell that this was tissue paper. It blends in really, really well. And then I grabbed 2 picks of this lamb's ear that you can get from Walmart, and I just started attaching it to my sign using a couple little staples and a little bit of hot glue. I wanted this to be able to withstand the sun, so that's why I added some staples in there. I made a bow using some burlap and lace ribbon. I just cut off a piece for the loop and glued the ends together, cut a piece out for the tails, scrunched the middle together, added a pipe cleaner around the middle just to get everything nice and secured together, and then finished it off with some twine that I wrapped around and around until I had a nice thick twine middle to it. And then all I'm going to do is attach that right on top of my lamb's ear and glue the tails down in place on the sides. And that's it for this DIY. This was super easy. I love the patriotic cow. Like I said, if you have seen any of my past DIYs recently, you would know that I love cows. I love Highland cows, and this matches my home decor perfectly with a patriotic touch to it. If you guys have never heard of Create Fabricas before, they are a digital marketplace platform with over 6 million designs for crafters and designers. They provide a free and subscription-based content where you can find fonts, graphics, and all sorts of different kinds of crafts. Anyone can use their designs. You don't have to have a Cricut to create fun designs using their images. You can print out images onto cardstock, tissue paper, even sublimation paper, and so much more. But if you do have a Cricut, there are so many cut files to choose from as well. You can sign up for their free trial and then pay $9 a month after that, or you can save even more money by purchasing a year's worth for $54, which comes out to only $4.99 a month. Create Fabricas is also partnering with me for a giveaway in today's video. All you have to do to enter the giveaway is go to Create Fabricas, pick your absolute favorite image, your favorite PNG, your SVG, whatever project that you want to make. Use that image to create a project of some sort, upload it to social media on Instagram, and tag myself and Create Fabricas so that we can see your beautiful piece of decor or whatever project it was that you made. We will go ahead and pick a winner from all those projects that we see, and you will win a brand new Cricut Explore Air 2 bundle. All the information on how to enter the giveaway will be in the description box and the comments below, so you can see when you need to have your project finished by and uploaded onto social media. Now let's go ahead and jump into our next DIY. I found this really pretty Patriotic Sunflower that I thought was perfect for any time of year, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Veterans Day, whatever you want to pull it out for. But I thought that this was really pretty, so I decided to grab a round that I picked up from Walmart. These are typically maybe $1 each, I think, and I'm going to paint the entire front and back and sides with the Waverly chalk paint in white. I sized this to the size of my round, and I just repeated the steps of taping the tissue paper onto my piece of paper and then cutting the image out. I wanted my sign to look a little bit more distressed, so I took a paint stir stick, made some shiplap lines onto my round, and then to smudge it in and make it look a little bit more realistic, I took my finger and just went over each of those lines. I also grabbed some of the Waverly Wax and Antique on a chip brush and did some distressing on top of that as well. Now I'm going to follow the iron-on method steps by taking my Mod Podge, applying it to my piece, letting it completely dry, and then adding my tissue paper right on top. Once I have it where I want it on the sign, I'm going to add my parchment paper on top of that, and then use my Cricut mini heat press to go over the entire image. And that's it for this DIY. I think this turned out really well. I love the sunflower patriotic look to it, and this was really easy and fast to make. For this DIY, I hopped on to Create Fabricas website, found these pastel watercolor barns that have a patriotic touch to them. I wanted to turn one of these into a sign, so I grabbed this pre-made sign that I picked up from Hobby Lobby. They are typically $5.99, but if you wait until the 40% off sale, then they are 40% off of that $5.99, so fairly inexpensive. I'm going to start by adding a layer of Mod Podge because we are going to do that iron-on method again. So adding that layer of Mod Podge, letting it completely dry, and then I'm going to print out that barn onto some tissue paper. I'm just cutting around the image as best as I can, and then I'm going to lay that to the side. I took a couple stars that I got from the Dollar Tree. I'm going to paint them with my Bunker Hill Blue from Dixie Belle Paint. I just gave each one good coat. Set those to the side to dry, and then I took my barn image, put it to the far right of my sign, laid some parchment paper down on top of it, and then again using my mini heat press, I am going over the entire thing to reactivate that Mod Podge and have my image stick to my sign wrinkle free. Lastly, I am going to glue my stars to the other side of the sign. I'm just using my wood glue super glue for this. Put them all in a row, and that is it for this DIY. I love the way that this turned out. I love the Patriotic Barn so much. Let me know what you think about it in the comments. One thing that I think is really fun with Create Fabricas website is you could do all sorts of DIYs. You can even make your own scrapbook paper, which I think is really fun. So I found this weathered patriotic wood background that you can print out onto paper. You could do really anything that you want with it. So I am going to make myself a rustic flag. Now, I didn't have the size of a sign that I wanted, so I figured I could just make my own out of some tumbling tower pieces from the Dollar Tree. Now, you don't necessarily have to put these in the exact pattern that I'm doing it. Just make it as large as you want it. I just made it into a rectangle, and that's really all you have to do. But if you have a wood sign the size of the rectangle that you want, by all means, use that instead. But if you don't, then here is a way to make your own wooden sign. So I just grabbed the tumbling tower pieces from the Dollar Tree. I also grabbed a square, and I am using my wood glue super glue to make a large rectangle. Like I said, you don't have to do the pattern that I'm doing because you're not going to see the pattern anyway, but you just want to make a piece large enough to be a rectangular flag. My sign is about 5 by 11 with the tumbling tower pieces. I glued it all together, waited for it to dry, and then painted the entire thing with one coat of my Waverly chalk paint in white. Grabbing my matte Mod Podge, I am going to do one layer over the entire thing for our iron-on decoupage method. I also get a lot of questions if you have to use a Cricut mini heat press. You do not. If you have a regular iron, that works as well. I just would obviously make sure that there is no water in it so you're not getting any steam. Once that Mod Podge is completely dry, I am going to take out my tissue paper printed American flag. I am going to put this on top of my piece, add my parchment paper right on top, and then go over the entire thing with my mini heat press. Now, I did have a little bit of a gap on two of the ends. The tissue paper didn't quite fit on the sign all the way, so I used my Waverly Wax and Antique to kind of give it a distressed look on all the sides, tried to have it blend in a little bit better, and then I just distressed all four sides so everything looked nice and cohesive. And that's it for this DIY. I love the rustic flag look, and this was made using Dollar Tree supplies, which I think is a huge bonus. This took maybe a $2.50 to $2 to make, and I think it turned out really nice. I found these patriotic canned flower pots on Create Fabricas website, and I love the look of them. So I found one of those and printed it out onto some regular printer paper, and I found this sign that I had in my stash from the Dollar Tree. I liked that it had a raised kind of chalkboard look to it in the middle, so I started by painting the front. Now the front with the paper does not take paint very well, so in the end I ended up taking that square off of the front and flipping it around to the back and painting the back instead. So for the back, I painted it with my Bunker Hill blue from Dixie Belle, and then the square itself, I painted it with my Waverly chalk paint in white. Now I wanted to add some stars to the back of this sign, and I wanted the stars to just be painted on, so I'm going to go in with a transfer that I had from Chalk Couture. I added my surface wax on top to help prevent any bleeding, and then I laid down the stars that I had from the Land of the Free transfer on Chalk Couture's website, and then I went over it with my chalk paste in white, and I just continued putting this on the sign all the way up. I didn't do the middle just because that was going to get covered up anyways, but I would just lift up my transfer and then add it back down on top of my sign, and then just go over those stars again with my chalk paste. And that's all you got to do to add these stars. It's a quick and easy way to get a design without having to be a really great artist. I can just put my paste on top of it and I have some really pretty stars. I'm going to glue my square back down to my sign just using my wood glue super glue and adding it right to the middle. I took a piece of twine and wrapped it around the bottom several times just to give it another added piece of dimension, some more textures to my sign, and I just glued both ends of that to the back. I printed out my image, and I am going to try to cut around the image as best as I can. At first, I thought I might just glue the entire thing down to my piece, but in the end, I decided to cut around the image as close to the edges as I could get them. I added my matte Mod Podge to my square, let it completely dry, added my image to the middle of my sign, and then used parchment paper and my mini Cricut heat press to adhere the image to the sign. The last thing I did was take some rope from the Dollar Tree. I did take the plies apart so that it would fit through the hole at the top, and then I tied a knot for a cute little hanger. And that is it for this one. We could cover up the back so the back doesn't look as terrible as it does right now, just using some brown craft paper, but I think in the end this turned out really, really nice. That's it for today's video. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Let me know which project was your favorite in the comments down below. Again, all the information on how to enter the Creative Fabrica giveaway is in the description box and in the comments, along with links for you to sign up for Creative Fabrica's subscription that I think is a fantastic deal, especially if you sign up for the all-year access, and you can use all of those fonts and images and everything else along with your Cricut, upload them to Design Space. If you guys enjoyed this video, don't forget to subscribe to my little crafty family here on YouTube. Also give this video a big thumbs up. It really helps out my channel, and we are so close to 100,000 subscribers. I will be doing an extra special giveaway when we hit 100,000, so hopefully crossing my fingers soon that we can get there. Share it, like it, comment. It really helps out my channel to grow. And until my next video, I will see you guys next time. Bye.